Time for the 49ers Rush Podcast. And here's your host, John Chapman.
What is going on, faithful? It is absolutely incredible to be with you guys today, and it's that time of the week. You know, we're at Thursday. I've got shows planned for Friday and Saturday. I haven't done a mock draft episode this week, and the emails. I appreciate everybody that reaches out, like, "Hey, let's get another mock draft. Let's get another mock draft." And I get it. I fiend for these as well, and when somebody, from NFL media or whatever puts one out, I always, take time just to look through, try to understand the reasoning and, play through the whole process. Like, okay, why would Kyle and John do this? Why I think this would be a good or a bad fit? Does this make sense among the NFL with the way the boards fall and all that? And just, try to figure these things out and put these pieces together. That's all we're trying to do. It's playing Clue. And why these things fit and why they don't. And so we try to replicate the process over and over again. I've done a mock draft in the past where what would I do? That's not what we're doing today. Today is, look, this is what I think the 49ers would actually do in these situations. Am I going to be right? Probably not. A lot of us are wrong all the time, and that's okay. But it's a fun process, and I think that we constantly get this understanding of, look, here's some needs. Here are what the positions and traits and qualities that the 49ers, are looking for in these players, and let's piece those together. And the more sense that we can make out of that, I think that we get a little bit of a glimpse into what the Niners could do. And that's what this process is. So I want to say thank you to everybody that's here. Appreciate you guys, the live community. What's up, Mike? How we doing, man? We got Mr. Gutierrez. That's what's up. Jojo Sean. This is awesome. All right. We're going to have a fun one today. What's up, Johan? We got David. Colin from overseas. And hey, Colin, I was talking to Paul Hope, the president of the UK Faithful. I'm going to be on his show Monday morning. So if you guys haven't checked that out yet, just type in Faithful, 49ers Faithful UK YouTube channel. Go hit subscribe. I'm going to be on with them 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And yesterday I had the awesome opportunity this is for all the podcast listener peeps. Go check out Striking Gold. I was on with Rob Lauder, the great Rob Lauder. We had a good time, got off topic, but it was a fun podcast. I think we did like an hour and a half. It was a good show, really, really good show. But that's podcast only if you're listeners. So Striking Gold podcast. If you haven't subscribed yet, please go do so. Tell them John Chapman sent you. But it was a good time. It was a really good time. We got Ireland. This is awesome. I'm loving this, man. And the man Thomas. What's up, guys? How you doing, Jacob? So we're going to jump in. We're doing a full 7-round mock draft. Why not, right? Like, come on, what are we doing here? And, as my board just continues to build and we continue just to kind of add into these names, I think I have about 160 completely finished write-ups and rankings and comps and all that stuff. The goal is to get to 250 because I'm like 90% done on like another 50 and I'm like 70% done on another like 40 after that. And so I'm releasing everything Saturday, whether I'm done or not. So some players might not have a finished write-up. Saturday, I'm done. Now, it's going to probably be late into the day Saturday where you get my War Room big board, all of my position rankings, 1 through whatever, and then all of our draft write-ups, which is well north of 100 pages, comps, who the 49ers have met with, PFF data, background data, academic, honor roll, some GPAs, what they majored in, what their parents did. Like, it's stupid. And I know that. I understand. What we do does not make sense. But I don't like doing what everybody else does. And my whole goal with this show is one, education, right? I want to increase understanding so that fans can have a more enjoyable experience and build that through community. We give this away to all of our Patreon and all of the 49ersrush.com members. And again, if you're not a member and you're like, oh man, this sounds kind of cool. I share the link with you, and it's, on Google Docs, and, you can make a copy and adjust it. Like, it's a really good just base where you want to build out your own big board. You want to add in your own notes. Those are options that you get. And we have a $1 tier. We have a free trial $1 tier over on Patreon where you can sign up and get all of this, and then you can cancel or whatever else. And if money's an issue, you can just email me after Saturday, and I'm happy to share it with you. We don't do this for the money, man. Yeah, I got to feed the family. But, the draft's my baby. And I used to break down film long time ago. Anybody remember the draftbreakdown.com days? That was 6+ years ago. It has since been retired and, buried out at sea somewhere. But like, I remember paying a subscription fee. This was way before I started podcasting, just so I could watch game tape and they would only have like top 30 prospects. But man, I ate that up. And so trying to just, I don't know, digest all this information so that people that don't have time to do so, or perhaps, weren't coaches and didn't know what to look for in certain positions, and spit that all out for you guys so that we can understand what guys fit and what guys don't. I don't know. That sounds like a pretty awesome process to me that I'm willing to spend, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of hours on. Perhaps not the best use of my time as far as money goes, but I don't care. What's up, Philip? My man, Rob D. I love this. And we got Swaggy J. What's up, man? He says, been a while since I've been live. Hey, we appreciate you. What's up, Mike? We got a lot of people here, including Sean. All right, let's dive into it. So we're going to be over on PFF, full 7 round. Speed's right in the middle. We can adjust it here. We're going much more of a public versus PFF big board. Positional value right in the middle. Actually, a little bit more on positional value. Draft for needs, a little bit more on that. Randomness, we'll go about a third. I like random. I really, really do. So let's enter the draft. Let's see. Let's get this going. Yeah, we're starting the draft, baby. Let's go. And, I really like to let this thing go for a while. And again, got to remember, biggest flaw of PFF, they do not have it a way where you can look at who's available and who is not. It's the biggest flaw of this thing. So we have to keep track of a lot of these guys. And the only thing I'm keeping track of, I'm just going to be very honest with you. Only thing I would trade up for in this draft is one of the top 5 offensive tackles. That's it. Joe Alt's gone. Fatanu went 10th overall. Brad Graham has been hired by PFF, and he is going top 10 overall. So that's 2 of them gone. Fuaga's gone 3. Cooper DeJean's gone. That stinks. So there's still 2 tackles. We're at pick 17. J.C. Latham. And, man, the Penn State dude, Olu, no way he's going to be there still. Let's see. And they went back-to-back. J.C. Latham went 18, and Fashanu, Olu, he went 19. So we're picking at 20 now. And I'm sorry. Like, we're at 20 on the clock. I don't care. I'm not trading up. I'm not trading up. Now, I'm sure somebody's like, well, what if the defensive tackle or defensive ends fall or defensive tackles fall or whatever else? I'm going to let it play where it may. Like, I'm not trading up. I have 24 first-round grades. I am only going to trade up for one of the top 5 tackles. That's it. Now, if one of the ends fell and got in range, cool. Verse. Latu, probably not trading up for it because the medical, that's a little scary for me. But I know some people might disagree. And Dallas Turner, but I think they're gone already anyway. So let's resume. Let's get to 31. We're jumping down, guys. I'm not trading up. And I don't really think that's the best spot to be in. If I look at excuse me. Again, I got 24 first round picks. That's my grade. We're picking 31. Now, we've got a lot of trade offers, 7 teams interested. We'll talk about that. Let's talk about the picks right before we went, okay? 24, Jackson Powers Johnson. 25, Tyler Gunn, thank God. 26, Kool-Aid. Chop Robinson, 27, Nate Wiggins, Darius Robinson, Ladd McConkey went right before us. So we're on the clock. Here's the PFF big board, okay? Tyler Nubin, safety. Patrick Wilson, linebacker. J.J. McCarthy's there. That's probably why we're getting the trades. And I know everybody is trying to smoke show J.J. McCarthy as a top 5 pick, and maybe he is. That's complete craziness to me. And it's not like I dislike J.J. McCarthy. It's just no. He is my 6th rated quarterback in this draft. 6th. And he might be amazing. But, man, he's going to have a learning curve. Unless he's drafted by Harbaugh, which he's not going to be because they got Herbert. So, do I think J.J. McCarthy would be there at 31? Probably not. But if I was drafted for all 32 teams, he sure as hell would be. And if this situation happens, yeah, you might be able to get a monster trade because J.J. McCarthy needs time. That dude needs so much time to get to where he's got to go. Gold-blooded. Appreciate the super chat, my friend. So with the 49ers not wanting to draft players with injury history, right? Health history. That's the term, okay? It's not my term. Both Kyle and John have used that term at the owners' meeting. Health history. It is the 49ers adopted whatever. Does that eliminate Cooper DeJean? No, it does not. Cooper DeJean does not fall into the health history situation. If you look at just kind of what he was able to accomplish, that dude played in 30 games in 3 years. Yeah, he had that one right leg issue, but that was it. He had no issues in 2021, no issues in 2022. And then you go to his pro day, you go back to his high school time, he didn't have issues back then either. So I don't think that you look at, one injury clears you or takes you off of that. I don't think that's the case. I think you're looking for repeat offenders that have missed multiple times with different injuries. If Cooper DeJean, I'd trade up for that. Like, I love this kid. I could not like Cooper DeJean anymore. What's he at on my big board? And he's just one of the most favorite, fun players. I have him 16th overall. And, again, I have no access to anybody's medicals. I'm never going to get that. Not allowed to. The teams, they get access to that. Would they draft him there or trade up for him? We'll see. But after his pro day, I'm telling you right now, Cooper DeJean's top 20. He's gone. Because the only reason why he was going to fall was, man, just how elite of an athlete is this guy? And sure enough, he's in the top 0.001% of corners to ever declare for the NFL draft based on RAS scores. He's that freakish. So, but you are right. I'm sure there's somebody in that war room that's sitting there just going, maybe let's pass on him. We don't know about that leg. That's a possibility, but there's no repeat injuries there from him through high school, through college. He had the one injury, and that was it. And still, man, he's killing it. He is killing it. Jason says, I got the same hat. Yeah, this is the new draft hat, which I love it. I got it in red and gray. Every year around the draft, I get my new hats. That's what it is. And actually, I like this draft hat. I get the draft hat almost every year, almost, except for the one that was the white trash one. But you guys know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, you're like, what? Yeah, you just look at it and no, man, I grew up in a trailer park and I've seen that hat before. But this hat I actually enjoy. It's pretty basic, but they've got a gray and a red. I like them both. Daryl, what's up, my friend? He says, super excited to see this live. Hit the like button, family. Yeah, I appreciate that. If you're enjoying this and you want to participate, comments, always welcome. It's just me here, so try to get this done. David says, I don't want to get stuck drafted a second round grade at 31. Well, then you got to trade up. You got to. The 49ers do not have 31 first-round grades. I have 24. The 49ers have way fewer than me because they don't grade quarterbacks. They don't have a first-round grade on Jaden Daniels. The Niners didn't even grade quarterbacks when Patrick Mahomes was out there, and they needed a quarterback, right? So I can guarantee you the 49ers are sitting there at about 15 to 14 first-round grades. Um, and yeah, I'm with you though. I don't like it either, David. Oh, what's up, Salty? How we doing, man? Yeah, Darius Robinson to the Lions. Yeah, he's gone, and I do not have a first round grade on Darius Robinson. I like him a lot. Um, right here, Floyd, take the best OT here or the best interior lineman, then dedicate third, fourth rounder to OT. If you let OT slide here, it only gets worse the longer you wait. And so I don't disagree with this philosophy. It is, go after, player need over best player available. And, if we let's just look at the offensive tackles, because I struggle. I don't like the tackles near as much as so many other people do. So the tackles that are available in PFF's order, Jordan Morgan, I do not like. Lowest ceiling ever. You're basically getting what Colton McKivitz is now. Like, that's his ceiling. Like, might be a little bit better in pass pro. That's it. He's not good at run blocking either. Like, Jordan Morgan is a more polished Colton McKivitz. I don't like it. I have a second round grade on him. There's no upside, and it's not a great fit. He is not a good dominant zone blocker. He's not at all. Let me look up real quick. And I feel like the community, the group think community is souring on Jordan Morgan. He started off as like a low 2, got pushed up into round 1 because like people are like, oh, hey, we got to have, this, whatever. But like, man, you look at, I don't know, man. Torn ACL in 2022. Not saying that throws him out of there. But this dude has played 2,404 snaps, which is awesome. So longevity's there, but he doesn't anchor well. Blocks really good for 2 counts, then lets them slip off. That's freaking, you guys know who, the center. I don't know. Gets beat inside way too often. That's Colton McKivitz. Still raw, but has the second most experience of any tackle in this class. That's Jordan Morgan. I do not like that pick at 31 at all. I would. Now, Kingsley Suamatia, now that guy, I'm totally cool with it. Now, I think Jordan Morgan might be a better player right now, but at least there is upside with Kingsley. 6'4", 326, 34 and a quarter inch arms, 21 years old. He met with the Niners. Insane athlete. Pass pro athleticism, all those things are there. Now, the problem is he had 52% run blocking grade. I'm not the biggest PFF guy, but you're sacrificing the whole Shanahan thing. Do we want to highlight pass pro more? Yeah, probably. But the upside and athleticism is there. I don't know. I like Kieran Armigagey, but if you're doing health history, you can't touch him. Blake Fisher, no. Patrick Paul, no. Puny's a guard. Goncalves, no. Christian Jones, he's like third, fourth round. Like Rosengarter, that's another thing. Let's talk Rosengarter. Mel Kiper just put out his mock where he had the 49ers taking Rosengarten at 31. And, Kiper's kind of pushing this agenda of this is my guy and whatever. And so nobody's talking about it before I did that. He says that about everybody. But I love Mel Kiper because he created this whole industry. I like Rosengartner. I really do. I have a third round grade on him. He's training with Joe Staley. He went to, his high school coach, Ed McCaffrey. That's what everybody's talking about. I said this, best feet in the draft. He's 22 years old already. Washington, 6'5", 308, short-armed, 33.5-inch arms. So Shanahan only teams are going to be high on him. 4'9", 240. That's awesome. Glides. Kick slide is a thing of beauty. Has a mean streak to him, which I like. 4'9", 40 kid. He can move, and it matches on tape. Sometimes you see like Tyler Guyton, and you're like, ooh, this dude's athletic, and he can move. And then you see him at the combine, it's like, nope, wrong. This dude's tape matches his combine testing. Looks like a tight end moving on the field. Only right tackle experience. Zone fit only. Wish he was in the run game. Wish he was better in the run game. The point of attack is just not great. But Pac-12 honor roll. Like all academic, all that stuff. Won 2 state titles in high school with McCaffrey coaching them. high school basketball. Like, he was an honorable mention all-state basketball player. Like, dude could play almost 2,000 career snaps, right tackle, no sacks allowed. Like, he's got a lot. He's a light Joe Staley, just without the run game. But the way that he pass pro, he's working with him. It makes sense. Is he a 31st overall pick? No. I'm higher on him than almost everybody. I got a 3rd-round grade on him. Where's he at on my big board? Because I think this will help. Let's see here. Where do I got him? Because I was like, man, I'm way too high on this guy. Then you see him going, number 1 overall, and it's like, really? I'm number 85 on my big board, 3rd-round grade. You want to take somebody like that in the 2nd round? Cool. But you're talking about a sub 34-inch arm tackle. 5 teams will allow that to play tackle for them. 5. That's it. And they're all Shanahan zone schemes. So I'm not taking Rosengardner there. If you force me to take a tackle, and I'm the 49ers, they're taking Kingsley Suamatia. If you force me to. I don't like that pick. I'm cool with it. If we look interior, I got to take offensive tackles off the board. Zach Frazier's there. I think he's worth the pick. Christian Hayes, I think he's a guard only. I just finished up doing some more work on Bo Limmer, center out of Arkansas. He is a perfect 10 out of 10 fit for the 49ers. He's not a 1st-round talent. I don't think he's a 2nd-round talent. 3rd round's probably where he belongs. 4th round, a little bit more accurate there. But, I love that there's a little bit more fit later, and you don't have to rush it. I love Zach Frazier. You take Zach Frazier 31, I'm happy. You guys know that. But, again, no value there. That's not a value pick. All right, let's keep looking. I know we got some trades. Wide receivers, A.D. Mitchell's there. I got a 1st-round grade on him. So, back to somebody's point, I think it was Vince, or I think it was David. Yeah, right here. I don't want to get stuck drafted a 2nd-round grade. Okay, so A.D. Mitchell's 1st-round grade, wide receiver. Is that a need? What are you going to do with Ayuk? And I said this on Rob Louder's show yesterday. I went through and I was like, okay, let's just say hypothetically the Niners are going to let Brandon Ayuk play out the 5th-year deal, not franchise him, or maybe franchise, tag and trade, whatever. Their long-term plan's not with Brandon Ayuk. I disagree with that, but I was like, let's just play with the hypothetical, okay? Who's the Ayuk replacement in every round? 1st round, A.D. Mitchell is the Ayuk. He's as close to Brandon Ayuk as you're going to get. The blocking's got to come, but the play style, wide receiver, body type, speed, space creator, all that stuff. A.D. Mitchell's the 1st-round replacement. 2nd-round replacement. And none of these guys are as good as Ayuk, by the way. I'm not saying trade Ayuk. I'm just saying if we had to, let's just play it out. Jalen Polk's my 2nd-round Ayuk replacement. If I go to the 3rd round, Brandon Rice, Jerry's son, that makes the most sense to me. 4th round, Jalen McMillan. 5th round, there's nobody. Javon Baker. You know what I mean? If I had to, and obviously you're not trying to replace Brandon Ayuk with a 5th-rounder, but if you that position, the X receiver in the Shanahan scheme, the space creator, those are the type of guys I'm looking at. So I'm sitting here seeing A.D. Mitchell on the board. Probably my top-ranked player. He's one of my last 1st-round grades. He's number 22 overall on my big board. He's sitting there at 31. We know how much the 49ers draft wide receivers. If you're one of those people that's like, well, Debo, he's not going to be around long, or Ayuk, he's not going to be around long, you take A.D. Mitchell and you smile. You are happy. And you let him rotate in, and you're fine in the future. You could do more 3 wide receiver sets. The Niners didn't get their tight end too. Maybe we transition a little bit more to more 3 and 4 wide receiver sets. Shanahan wants to go empty set all the time. Not saying that's a good idea, but let's just go down that road. So if you're sitting there looking at best player available, A.D. Mitchell's him. That's him. Let's see here. Trade back into the 30s, pick Melton. I ain't mad about that. David said, I'm happy to trade back. We haven't gone over that. Oh, we got Alex and Salty in the house. Seattle faithful, Niner faithful taking over. How much to mute Uncle Salty? It's impossible. There's no duct tape or gorilla tape strong enough. Salty, that dude just spews saltiness. It's a perfect name. Jacob says, would love to trade back for 2 top 75 picks. I like that. Floyd, the Niners have a golden opportunity to fix the O-line if they want to. I would take OT, then double down with Haynes and Mahogany, Van Print in third rounds. Man, that's a lot. And we don't have those many. You only get to keep 8. You only get to keep 8 O-linemen. And so if we draft 3, like you're cutting Spencer Burford's cut. Brindle's cut. Like you're cutting Jalen Moore. And I know somebody's like, yeah, cut all 3 of those guys. The 49ers love those 3. They love those 3. And so I don't disagree with you, Floyd. But at the same time, I do not want to overpay when there is premium talent on the board. There is not a first-round guy close. Yeah, Zach Frazier's my highest-rated offensive lineman here, and it's not close. I'd be fine with that. But, yeah, sir, Morgan's a third-rounder. I have a second-round grade on, but I don't disagree with you. Like, I'm fine with that. David says I'd take Kingsley here. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Doors fan, what's up, man? He says Mel Kiper mocking that Washington O-line to the Niners. Yeah, that's the Rosengarten. That's what we're talking about. PFF's board is so random. It is. We lean more to consensus than PFF, but look, crazy things happen. You remember DK Metcalf fell to like the end of the second round. People had him as a top 10 wide receiver. Blake Fisher, I'm just not a fan of him. Second round, I'm cool with that. Like, but will he be there? Probably not. Probably not. Yeah, Hyde says best player available. That's A.D. Mitchell for me. And the Niners like him. I'm telling you that right now. Daryl, what's up, my man? Member for 19 months. Daryl, I really appreciate all the support. You're the man. He says, JC, how do you guys feel about somebody like Mason McCormick in the later rounds? You know, you look at Mason. Let me pull up my stuff on him. He always spells his name weird. Let's see. You know, I think 4th round, 6'4", 309. He's old. Like, he's going to be 24 years old to start the season. He's played for a long time, man. Long time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. He was there for 6 years, man, at South Dakota State. Now, there's not a lot of South Dakota State. You find some highlights and all that kind of stuff, but, you know, right at 34-inch arms, that's not an issue. But he tested real athletic. You watch his tape, it doesn't match near as much, kind of like a Tyler Guyton. It's the exact opposite, actually. But, you know, good eyes, great feet, back up, work him in there. We'll see. But I do like his ceiling is higher for a day 4 guy, which I like because he's going to have an adjustment period. Going from South Dakota State, O-line to the NFL, that's adjustment. 5th round, 4th round's early, but I don't mind guys like that. I really, really don't. I really, really don't. Right here, Pearsall is good. Ayuk replacement. Yeah, I didn't like Pearsall's tape near as much. I mean, he's good. And let me see here. You know, he catches everything, routes and hands, 24 years old, 6'1", 203, 4.4 speed, willing blocker. I like it. I love the routes. It's just, I don't know. I wish he played as big as he is. Like, he's 6'1", which says, like, yeah, you can play wide. That's what, you know, Brandon Ayuk is. He just doesn't play big. He plays like a small slot guy. He tested, looks big, but you watch the tape, and, like, they disguise this dude. Like, he had 260 slot snaps, 194 out wide snaps. So my question is, like, man, why is this guy, and he plays small? I didn't like it. Cedric Wilson with elite hands. That's my comp. Nate Burleson. And I know a lot of people like the hands are great. The routes are great. Acceleration's great. I just kept waiting for him to, like, be a dominant outside wide receiver because that was what I wanted after the metrics and everything. I just didn't see it. But if you're a team that moves guys around a lot more than the Niners do from a wide receiver standpoint, yeah, I could see having a second round. Ayuk's outside all the freaking time. Ayuk don't go in the slot, but maybe like 10 times during the year. So, like, I don't disagree with you, but now we're into projection territory. And you could even say the same about McMillan out of Washington, which I don't disagree. And that's why these guys are third-round picks for me, fourth-round picks for me. I'm a little lower on him than most. Yeah, right here. Doors fan. Last year, Kuiper mocked some OT to the 49ers in round 3. Guy went undrafted. 49ers signed him, but cut him in training camp. Small school guy, but the name escapes me. You're talking about the big boy. We gave him the biggest. It was like Joey Fisher, I think his name is off the top of my head. Yeah, we gave him the largest signing bonus. But, yeah, he did not pan out and got beat out by a guard, Il Manning, who was awesome. But that's a whole nother story. All right. Let's look at it. Just a couple other. I want to see what corners are there. Corners. TJ Tampa, I'm out on. Mike Sanders still. I love the second round. Max Melton's still there. Man, there's a lot of corners I like in this draft. And so let's look D-line just real quick. Braden Fitz, Rooks there. Chris Jenkins, no value as far as like pick 31. And we'll spend a little bit of less time, maybe. I don't know. Maybe we'll just stay here. Chris Broswell, that makes sense. Adisa Isaac, that makes sense. Marshawn Nealand, I see a lot of people are getting wise on him, and Niners met with them. They like him. So let's look at some of these trades. The Falcons, you fall back 12 there. That's rough. Let me pull up my trade chart. You fall back 12 points, 12 position spots. Atlanta's 470. We're at 600 total value. That's 130 that we could make up. Man, you might be able to get, if you want the 275 picks, because they pick 43 and 74. I'm almost for that. Let's see who else. Who else wants some? Let's see here. Man, they all want us to fall back far. And so Falcons 43, Giants 47, Bengals 49, Rams 52. I think we can make something work with the Falcons. I really do. I want their second and third. Now, we're going to have to give them 43 and 74. Hey, can we give them? Yeah, I think we can give them a back-end pick. Dude, I love this. Drop back 12 spots. Okay, so here's the trade that I have set up, and it looks like it's going to go through. The 49ers would give up pick 31 and pick 176, which is the very last pick in the 5th round, because we got docked for paying somebody too much money, right? So you're giving up your 1st and your 6th, and they're back in first, the last pick of the 6th round. But you're getting 43 and 74. So you fall back 12 to jump up 102 spots. I love this trade. Golly. So if I'm staying on the clock and I'm general manager, I'm taking A.D. Mitchell, wide receiver out of Texas. I know there's a Texas guy, blah, 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 blah. If I'm taking tackle, I'm taking Kingsley Suamatia. If you're forcing me to take an offensive line, I'd prefer Zach Frazier. Those are the 3 guys. But I'm looking at this and I'm like, good Lord. Like, that trade, that trade's pretty solid. Man, yeah, I'm taking this trade. I'm going to offer the trade. So again, we're getting 43 and 74 and giving up 31, 176. Offering the trade. Boom, trade accepted. Let's resume the draft. And let's just see. Again, I told you my 3, right? A.D. Mitchell, Kingsley Suamatia, Zach Frazier. Those are the 3 guys that I'm like, that's what I want. So as I resume this, I'm going to slow it down a little bit. Let's go. Let's go to creeper status, and let's just see. Resume draft. All right, JJ, Jordan Morgan, TJ Tampa, Kamari, Broswell, Franklin, Newbin, Pearsall, Wilson, Bullard. A.D. Mitchell's gone, But now we're 2 picks away. So the Texans are on the clock ahead of us. Then it's our turn. So I'm resuming the draft. Fisk went. So now we're sitting here at pick 43. And this is where the players are properly priced. This is where they should go. Zach Frazier's on top of PFF's big board. You got Mike Sanders still, who, golly, the best nickel in the freaking draft, plug and play. He's awesome. And Kingsley Suamatia. Like, I'm totally cool with this. So, let's go O-line. Let's stick with O-line. And it's between two guys. No, we're not trading back again. We're not doing that. You guys want Zach Frazier, the power center, 4-time state wrestling champion, plug and play guy, done. Or do we want the hyper ceiling Kingsley Suamatia tackle out of BYU? And very possible long-term Trent Williams replacement. He'd be competing with McKivitz, sliding over eventually whatever Trent says Trent. You know, he's done and, man, rides off into the sunset. So I need y'all to know. I need you guys to tell me, Frazier or Suamatia? And this is what happens in the war room, right? Because I'm the GM or whatever. You guys are all my coaches and scouts. And it's like, look, let's make a collective choice. Let's do this together. I want to see who you guys want. Right here, we got Frazier 1, Frazier 2, Frazier 3. Who is your OT in third or fourth round if you pass on Kingsley? Christian Jones, Rosengarten, Brandon Coleman. I'm cool with any of those guys. Those are my third, fourth round guys. Blake Fisher. I got Amarius Mims, but nobody else does there. Those are the guys. Christian Jones, Brandon Coleman would probably be the best fits. 4, Frazier. There's Kingsley. That goes down 1. Frazier back up to 4. Number 2 rated center. That's 5. Frazier 6. OT with upside back to 5. Kingsley down to 4. Ruben Kingsley down to 3. Nick Frazier back up to 4. So we've got +4 votes. We got +4 votes on Frazier. And I do not mind this at all. I do not mind this at all. This is where quality centers go. This is what it looks like. So, and again, I feel bad because, like, I read through Frazier every time, and I don't care. I'm going to keep reading through Frazier. Zach Frazier, center, West Virginia, 6'2", 313. A lot more size than we're used to there. 30 bench press rep. He's strong, man. He's so strong. Physical and attitude. He is what Jake Brindle is not. Not that Jake Brindle's bad, but I'm just saying they're different. Lack of length will remove him from certain teams' boards. 32-inch arms, that's a problem. That's why he's probably center only. Incredible flexibility for a big man. Huge hands. Perfect zone scheme center. Drives DTs and nose tackles off the ball consistently. Can be over-aggressive from time to time. Finishes blocks with the best of them. Nasty, mean, tone setter, plug-and-play starter. Amazing at leading the way on quarterback sneaks. Like, it was unreal the amount of movement he got. Like, he takes pride in it. At his best for the first few seconds of the block. Over 2,500 snaps at center the last 3 years. 0 projection, guys. 0. Injured in the last game of the 2023 season, but went through the entire combine anyway. Like, this dude, 4.0 GPA in high school. I'm sorry, that's in college. He was a finalist for the academic Heisman for all of the NCAA. Check mark. Intelligent center. Check. Said he wants to go to a team that runs the ball because run blocking is his favorite. You're talking about George Kittle mentality, and it shows on tape from a center. 4-time state wrestling championship. His junior year, his longest wrestling match was 51 seconds. 159-2 wrestling record. Whew. Good Lord. Anchor ability 9. Meaner Nick Mangold. That's I mean, I freaking love him. And like right here from seeing, he says, Kingsley is awful. Look, Kingsley's a projection. That's a projection. That could be a bust pick. I ain't going to lie. There is no way, and nobody's a sure thing. I'm telling you right now, Zach Frazier is not a bust. Zach Frazier is not going to be a bust player. Not at all. I'm taking Zach Frazier. We're taking that. And yeah, whew, I like it. I like it. I freaking love it. All right, now guys that go off late. Sandra still went right after us. Sue Mattia went. Worthy, Rakestraw, Ellis, Rook's gone. Xavier Leggett. We're at pick 51 now. Our next pick is 63. Now we got an extra premium pick. I don't want to sacrifice that to jump up now, especially with stupid PFF. I like PFF, and it's the best one out there, but I can't see all the guys that are there. So I'm going to resume. Let's go to 12. Bo Nix, Nealand, Roman Wilson, Max Melton's gone, Polk's gone, dang it. Jenkins gone, dang it. Penix, Kyrie Johnson, Disa Isaac, Jalen McMillan, Jonathan Brooks, Jatavian Sanders right off the board. Right ahead of us. That one hurt. I would have taken Jatavian Sanders. So now the Niners are on the clock, pick 63. And we're picking in 11 picks. So that's awesome. So, like, we need to kind of orchestrate and calculate a little bit here with what we want to do. Best on the board, Jermaine Burton, no. Keon Coleman, no. Kieran Amageji, all right. Right here. I ain't mad about this at all. Now, all right, we're talking tackles. I am higher on Kieran Armigaji than almost anybody is. The dude's a freak. It's so like, okay, let me just say this. Kieran Armigaji is Amarius Mims. They're the same person. And so everybody else is out on Kieran because of the injuries and because of the lack of playing time or whatever. But I have him and Amarius Mims close to each other. And so, like, if Amarius Mims was available here at 63, I'd be totally cool with that. And that's kind of how I see Kieran. Now, he played for Yale, so that's difficult. But he's got 36 and 1/8 inch arms. That makes no sense, man. Let's see here. I didn't get his pro day numbers or even if he did his pro day. So let me look here. Nah, he didn't do his pro day. The injury's still there. He had the left quad injury. Now, this is somebody that started 24 out of 24 games. And yeah, he had the injury, his left quad, and it's still not good. So I'm not going to be a part of those medical proceedings, but here's what I wrote for him. Mean. Started left guard for a season, then left tackle for 2 seasons. Level competition's a concern, but worst case is you move him to guard. Amazing feat. Some of the longest arms in the NFL. Destroys players play after play. Huge risk, but the upside's there to go in the second round. Partially torn quad in 2023. That ended his season. Got to work through that. But at first team All-Navy, yeah, whatever. Obviously, he's smart. Parents are from, West African Togo. Dad was a professional soccer player. Like, that's why the feet come from, right? He's a poli-sci major at Yale. Are you kidding me? He's been training with Willie Anderson, and he's got 1,500 career snaps. Like, if you want to rest a guy, this is him. Elijah Vera Tucker, Juwan Taylor type of player. Like, if you're just one of those people that's like, we got to get a tackle. We got to get a tackle. It would depend on the medicals. I would have no problem taking Kieran Armigaji here, especially knowing we got to pick at 74. Jaden Hicks, Edgerrin Cooper, Christian Haynes. All right. Jalen Wright, wide receiver or running back. No. Dontrez Water. Yeah, Tavondre Sweat, he's there, but I'm going to say no with the medical or with the, what's it called? So there's some guy, Blake Fisher's there. Gabriel Murphy, I really, really like. There's guys that are available. Malachi Cordery, Cameron Kitchens, one of my favorites. He's my favorite safety. Patrick Paul. There's guys that are available here. Brandon Rice, nah. And we got no trade offers. Nobody wants this spot. Oh man, I wish Jatavian Sanders was there. I really, really do. So let's look at some of these positions. From wide receiver, I don't think this is a value spot there. I don't think that there's value at that spot. Tight end, no. There's only 2 tight ends worth these picks, and they're both gone. Tackle, that's a possibility. Kieran Armigaji, Blake Fisher, Patrick Paul. Kieran's my highest. Kieran is my highest out of those guys, considerably. All right, let's see here. Interior offensive line, we don't need. We got Zach Frazier. corner. Like there are some guys here at the cornerback position that I don't really I think fit kind of what we're looking for. Yeah, I think all my second round guys are gone, but this is back end. We're at pick 63. My highest rated corner is Andrew Phillips. And if we're looking, and that's PFF's too. I don't know how I feel whenever I agree with Andrew Phillips or I agree with PFF. Listen to my write-up. Now, the Niners met with him, 5'10", 190, 4.48 speed. He's got short arms. He's got small hands. But 42-inch vertical, that's second best of all DBs. 11.3 broad, third best. Niners like him. Change of direction, versatility. Can play all the cornerback spots. He's close to that 6 foot 200 that they like. In and out of breaks is fun to watch. Lower body explosiveness, off the charts, on tape and testing. Should never play off coverage. I hated how they used him. Just play slot, put him in the slot and enjoy. Actually has nickel experience, which a lot of people in this draft don't. No hesitation get involved in the run game. Sometimes a little too much hair on the fire. Like where you think about Hufanga just going in 1,000 miles an hour. Like it's like that. But it's refreshing to see in this draft because a lot of the nickels, and there's a lot of nickels in this draft, they're hesitant and calculated coming in the run game. No. This guy, you're going to have to hold back. Linebackers will love this guy, the way he sets the edge. Not a lot of starts, but has over 1,000 career snaps. His nickname is Drew. Tyrann Mathieu is who he models his game after. 2-time triple jump champion. I freaking love that. Already graduated from Kentucky. Like, he's a fun dude. Now, ball skills aren't there. No interceptions. But, like, this is a plug-and-play starter at nickel. Plug and play. He's just your nickel guy. For 4 years, you got somebody. And the athleticism's there. Andrew Phillips is a legitimate option at this spot. Is it a value pick? No. Kind of where he should go. But there's really not a value pick here. Kieran Armageddon, Christian Haynes. There's no way the 49ers are going interior offensive line with 2 picks early. There's no way. Let's look defensive end. I bet there's going to be an end or a defensive tackle that I like here. Defensive tackles, Dorless, Sweat. I'm out on Michael C. Hall. But this isn't a bad spot for him in the second round. Dwayne Carter. I'm not liking T'Vondre Sweat, but the off-the-field stuff, no. All right, let's look at the edge. Trice, Austin Booker, Gabriel Murphy, Javon Solomon. Those guys make some sense here. I got a late second on Solomon and Gabriel Murphy. Those two guys are close. So we've talked about Javon Solomon in the past. We haven't talked much about Gabriel Murphy. And he's a fun player. Edge player out of UCLA. He's got a twin brother on the same team, and they rotate, which is really, really cool. 6'4", 309. Man, he's got some short arms, short hands. But he's a basketball player. 49ers met with him. This dude does Euro step pass rush moves. He literally crosses over. Like, he acts like he plays with, like, a basketball sometimes, which is weird. It literally tries to cross over in Euro step OTs. Way more comfortable standing up, but he's a pass rusher. Tested insanely well at the combine. Plays like a safety coming downhill in a D lineman body. Like, he's got good weight, good build. Take on blocks, control his gap, but that's not what he prefers. Amazing bend and leverage player in the pass rush. That's what he does. Great hands. Very fun hands. And, he's playing opposite of Leatu Latu, who's a first-round DE. He's got more pressures and hurries than Latu does. And I really felt like, at the end of every play, especially on pass plays, Murphy's closer to the quarterback way more consistently. He doesn't finish as well, but he's always around the quarterback. He's just there all the time. Hands are awesome. Might be the best in the class. He's Bishop Lentz guy. He's a Dallas kid. And his twin brothers, Grayson. But you're talking about somebody 8 sacks, 13 quarterbacks, 40 hurries. This is a guy that's always around the quarterback. I would not mind that pick here either. Who's my best player available here? Probably going to be Javon Solomon, the edge out of Troy. That's probably who that would be. If I'm just looking at best player available, Kieran Armagagi, Javon Solomon. Yeah, would be Sweat, but no, I can't do that. I can't do that right now. You don't get a DUI 3 weeks before the draft. That's just crazy to me. So yeah, if I'm picking Kieran Armagagi, Andrew Phillips, or we won't do Javon Solomon. We're going to do Gabriel Murphy, right? Those are the three options. So I want you guys to pick. Surf says Phillips not worthy of this pick. I don't know. I think other people might be disagree. So y'all got to tell me. Those are the three finalists, okay? So nickel, Andrew Phillips, edge rusher, Gabriel Murphy. He's just freaking pass rusher, insane athlete. Or Kieran Armagagi. We're going upside, offensive tackle, project player. So you want the immediate starter, then you go Andrew Phillips. You want the most premium position, pass rusher, you're John Lynch, then you're going Gabriel Murphy, the edge, right? If you're one of the old line crazy people, then you're going Kieran Armagagi. And again, that would, if we do go offensive tackle, that's Zach Frazier, Kieran Armagagi. Not a bad haul, especially with the trade back. We always have to calculate that part to it. And so, early votes right here. We've got take the corner. We've got offensive tackle. Kieran, and Hope. Kieran and Hope. That sounds like a freaking, 1980s ballad. They're warming up the stage for Hall and Oates, right? Yeah, Kieran and Hope and Hall and Oates, baby. I love it. I prefer the term old line sensible. Ooh, there we go. I like that. DE, only one vote for DE, only one vote for corner. We've got several votes, about 7 now for Kieran. We're going Kieran Armagagi, and we're hoping. I don't like it. But I tell you what, man, if you walked out of the first and second round with 2 old linemen, but the good news is we're picking in 11 picks. And I think one of those DEs are going to be available. So we're taking Kieran Armagagi back into the second round. That's probably where he should go. That's where he should go. Dorless is gone. Booker's gone. Christian Haynes is gone. We're not drafting another offensive lineman. Now we're back on the clock at 74. We got a couple trades here, but I want to see. I think both our guys that we wanted are still there. Gabriel Murphy, he's still there. And, if we're looking at, well, let me pick come on, man. Do your job, PFF. Well, there we go. There's corners. Andrew Phillips still there. I'm not looking at other players. So now the conversation turns again. We're going to get 2 out of these 3 because we took that trade back. Do we want the pass rusher or do we want the starter at nickel? Gabriel, Murphy, he's going to rotate in. He would not start for us, but he's a legit pass rusher, and he belongs in the top 75 picks. Andrew Phillips, I think a little bit less of a value, but more of a play. Like I think this dude will play. So I need to know who you guys want. Andrew Phillips, he is available. So he is available. Here we go. Right here. Caleb says, just got here. So we traded back in the first round. We didn't like what was available, and we got Zach Frazier. But we picked up this extra pick here. So we got center Zach Frazier after falling back. And then we took a gamble in the second round on Kieran Armagagi, the tackle out of Yale, at the back end of round 2. And now we're back on the clock, round 3, pick 74. And we're making the choice between an edge rusher, Gabriel Murphy out of UCLA, and a nickel corner. He could play a lot, but he would be our starting nickel. Nick says, all right, here we go. Aaron says, Murphy. All right, so I'm going to count up for Murphy. Nick says, nope, Phillips. Let's see here. Take the starter. All right, that's 1 for D end. There we go. We're back here right here. Let's see here. Yeah, Drew Phillips is up next, so Phillips is up 1. Let's look at the trade. We're picking at 74. We've got 2 trade offers. 89 and 96. We would be dropping back. That's dropping back 15 spots, man. I don't want to do that. I like what we can get a starter right now, and we're picking at 94 anyway. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in those trades. I don't even want to look at that. So I think we're taking. I think we're going with the starter. I think that's what we're going to do. So let's go to draft a player, and I'm taking the corner. I'm taking Drew Phillips, man. I just freaking really love the way he plays. And I think he fits exactly what it is to be a Niner. The Niners have met with him. Drew Phillips is incredible. We're taking him. So now we've got a center, Zach Frazier. We got a project tackle, which the 49ers could do. You signed Colton McKivitz. Colton McKivitz would be starting if we got Kieran Armageddon. You're redshirting him, and you're just letting him kind of develop. And now you've got your plug-and-play guy. So now you've got 2 starters and a project tackle that could be a left tackle in the future, okay? 49ers back on the clock, pick 94. Bucky Irvin, Michael Pratt. I'm not talking no more offensive linemen. Brendan Rice is there. Kalen Bullock. Let's see here. Linebacker Maurice Luofu, Ray Davis, Michael Hall Jr. is still there. This is where he should go. A lot of people are like, oh, first round, second round. Like, this is where Michael Hall Jr. should be going. Man, there's a lot of defensive tackles I like. Javon Solomon's still there, but we're not going to pick him. Even though the value's there, that's BS. There's no way that dude's going to be there. I'm sorry, I put a veto on that one. If he was, I'd run the card in. But, man, it seems like there are so many defensive tackles and edge players. Christian Jones. See, this would be, if we didn't do Kieran, right here, I'm taking Christian Jones. Mohamed Kamara, I like him considerably. Let's look at a couple of these positions. Wide receiver, Brendan Rice. This is where he should go. Luke McCaffrey, Brendan Rice is a legitimate option here that makes a lot of sense. Tight end, Kate Stover, Ben Sinnott, Theo Johnson. God, y'all know how much I love Theo Johnson. I wish PFF knew what they were doing there. That's 3 tight ends I'm fine taking in this spot as well. So we've got some guys. Let's see here. What about not safety? Let's look at edge. I want to pull up. PFF's so weird. I don't want to look at Michael Pratt. Come on, bro. I hope you guys go through this as well as myself. Michael Hall Jr., Dwayne Carter, there's some really good DTs right here, man. I've got Dwayne Carter the highest, but I know a lot of people really like Michael Hall. Man, that would be awesome. I would love that pick. Either one of those two right here. Edge, Xavier Thomas, Justin Bianahe, Mohamed Kamara. There's Grayson. That's the twin brother right there. Who's my highest edge that's available? Mohamed Kamara by a considerable margin. Let's go read up on Mohamed. Fun player, man. Colorado State, 6'1", 248. And he's got small hands, which is weird. 4'5", 40. He's a jumper. He's strong. Leverage and chase. Very productive. Plays with a lot of passion. Great speed off the edge. Motor. Built the right way. Dude is jacked. Loves violence, and it shows on tapes. Get under center. Offensive tackles with ease. Has the strength to push him back. Can win with speed or leverage, which I like. He has a spin move he goes to too much. As a former D-line coach, I hate spin moves personally, but if you could do it, it shows, athleticism and agility. Sniffs out screens and misdirections consistently. Coaches will like him more than scouts. Good versus the run, but pass rush is what's going to get him drafted. Look like an old school fullback, play in the edge position. Pass rush production is unreal. Top 10 in hurries, top 10 in hits, top 10 in sacks. 48 career games played, may be at the peak of his career already. All academic Mountain West, team captain. Dude had 14 sacks, man. And it didn't matter what game you turned on. You can't take your eyes off of him. I really like him. Pass rush moves, I have him at a 9. Yannick Ngakoue. That's what he reminds me of. I've got a, 4th round grade on him, but I think he kind of belongs in the 3rd. That's kind of where we're at now, pick 94. I really don't mind that at all. Really don't mind that at all. So yeah, let's put this. Okay, I'm gonna kind of force your hand here again to try to get a conversation going. Let's talk edge. Muhammad Kamara versus Brendan Rice, which it's Jerry's son. This is where he should go. Brendan Rice, 6'2", 208. Production with a couple teams, 4.5 speed. My favorite thing about it, when Niners met with him, he's 22 years old, routes and polish. That's what he brings, right? This is my 3rd round. That's what I said before the draft. This is my 3rd round Ayuk replacement. Not that he has to replace him, but you need somebody. Very physical, loves contact through routes. He will draw a lot of pass interference calls. Like, he just will. It's the way he plays. Like, when the ball is in the air, he's filling for the corner. I mean, it's impressive to watch the IQ that is genetically passed down. In-game GPS numbers are really high compared to his 40, but he ran a 4.5. It matches on tape. Loves to block, brings a nasty streak with him. No real elite traits, except for his arm length. That's kind of his best trait. Football IQ shows on tape. Watching him and Caleb Williams on scramble drills, it is a thing of beauty. Like, he's the quarterback's best friend. Now, Caleb Williams, he's one of one, but the fact that he's gone through that, you pair that with Brock Purdy, like, that's awesome. Like, this dude's already got that down. Scramble drill's difficult to teach, but he's got as much practice as anybody. Returner upside, a true X, right? There we go. Wish he generated more separation. That's why he's in the 3rd round. Missed 1 game in 4 years. Come on, man. Ran a 10.7 in the 100. He's got the speed, a 21.8. Like, this dude's got speed. And he plays at that top gear, which is fun. I really like that. Route running 9, footwork 8, hands 7, acceleration 7, run after the catch 6, blocking 8. Cortland Sutton. This is where he should go. So we're making a decision. Edge, Muhammad Kamara, Colorado State. Wide receiver, Brendan Rice. What do we want to do here? So let's go to the top. Yeah, you right here, David. Talking about Kamara, he destroyed Colorado this year. He did. They were never the same after that. That was the breaking point. Muhammad Kamara broke the Colorado Buffaloes, and it was one of the happiest moments of the year for me. I hate Colorado. I'm a Longhorn, so I hate Colorado. Anyway, so let's see here. We got Rice got 1. Kamara's got 1. Kamara's up 1. Rice is up 1. Let's see here. I want to trade back here. We've already traded back once. Let's see here. Kamara. All right. Now we're back to 0. Rice is up 1. I don't think that's a vote. Kamara will be available later. Rice is up 2. There we go. Rice is up 3. Or we're going wide receiver, baby. Appreciate you, Salty. Enjoy work, man. Make that money. So there we go. I got too many screens going on at once. I'm all over the place. We're scrolling down. We're taking Brandon Rice. And we need a wide receiver. I do not believe, how do I say this correctly? I love our 3 wide receivers. I am not sure the long-term plan. Everyone wants to talk about, like, who's going to take over for Trent. Yeah, Juwan Jennings is on a 1-year tender deal. I hope something long-term gets worked out. You've got Brandon Ayuk's on a 1-year, 5th-year option. I hope something long-term gets worked out. Debo has something long-term worked out, but if you work a long-term deal out with one of the other 2, that kind of puts his a little bit in jeopardy. Not a lot, but with the Brock Purdy deal, like, you're going to need some young wide receiver at some point at X, Y, or Z. It's just what you're going to need. And right now, I do not think that's on the roster. Maybe Ronnie Bell can be a slot guy. I don't think Ronnie Bell can be an outside receiver. Brandon Rice, born to be an X. Boom. That's our pick. I'm liking this. I'm liking this draft. We got Zach Frazier. We got Kieran Armigagey. Ooh, man, I ain't mad about this, guys. We got Andrew Phillips, our starter at nickel. And now we've got Brendan Rice, a wide receiver, development guy, high upside. Plus, that means Jerry will continue to be at every game, which he already is anyway. Might be a little less intoxicated, but I won't be. He might be. I will not be. Niners are back on the clock. Pick 124. And once you get to this part, pick 124, it's just kind of you go with what you want, your flavor at that point. I'm not really interested in trading back or whatever else. This is much more of a conversation. What players are available at these spots? So we're going to pick up the pace. Pace Picani. We're going to pick up the pace considerably here. Defensive tackle is a very, very real spot that we have not addressed. And if you do wait, I feel like there's some guys here. Leonard Taylor. Yeah, there's some guys. There's 4 dudes here that I really, really like. If we're looking at my big board, let's get over here. Mason Smith is by far my highest guy, which Mason Smith out of LSU, he's one of those guys that came out of college and was like 5-star everything. He's 21 years old, met with the Niners, 6'5", 306, length and heavy hands, big frame, lots of potential, just hasn't put it together yet. This is where you take those high upside plays. This is where that goes. And so I'm telling you right now, if he's there, I'm not even looking around. I'm running this card in. We got a lot of picks to get through, and we're back on the clock at 8 picks. So we took defensive tackle out of LSU, Mason Smith. I freaking love it. Now we're on the clock at 132, and we're picking at 135. So we've got 2 more picks right here in this range. Let's check out the tight end spot. Oh, all right. We're going tight end here. Ben Sinnott, Theo Johnson, Dalen Holker. My ranking is Theo Johnson by a mile, but we've taken him too many times. Let's jump into some Ben Sinnott right up because he is a fun player. 6'5", 250, big dude. 4'6", 40, all right, but a 6'8", 3-cone. Ben Sinnott's shifty, man. That's better than Debo's 3-cone. 22 years old, tough inline guy that can do it all. Tested amazingly well. Natural pass catcher, no issues with blocking. K-State runs Wham. So I think I've talked about this on I love Wham. We bring our tight end to kick out the end on a lot of the plays. They bring their tight end to kick in the defensive tackle. And he was awesome. Plays with heart. Strength is an issue, but makes up for it with technique and effort. He may have already peaked. Walked on at K-State, which is so cool. His cousin, Zach Hames, plays for the Dodgers. Now you're out on him, right? Played, baseball, golf, tennis, track, hockey, and football. 6 sport athlete in high school. He's a fun player. Tyler Croft is kind of my thing, but he's a 49ers fit. So I'm going tight end here, Ben Sinnott. I like Theo Johnson more, but I've taken him so many times that's why I'm going to pass on there. All right, now we're at 135. What have we not drafted? If we're looking at what we've picked, we've got a center, we've got a tackle, we've got a tight end, we've got a wide receiver, we've got a corner, we've got a DT, we've got an end. Like, we are plugging. We plugging some spots now. We don't have a safety. We don't have a running back. Let's look at best of it. Oh, Christian Jones is still there? Come on, man. Really? Cooper Beebe's still there. We haven't taken a guard. There's no way we're taking 3 offensive linemen. Will Shipley's there. All right. Now we're talking. What round are we in? I do not want to take an offensive lineman. This is the last pick of the 4th round, pick 135. Would you guys be mad if we took a running back? And yeah, these 2 guys are like 2 of the most 49ers fits ever. I like Will Shipley way more than Isaac Guerrero. It's not even close to me. I love Will Shipley, but I do like Isaac, and I did a bunch of film on him this morning. The problem with Isaac is he has no wiggle. Dude has so many 0-yard runs, it's ridiculous. Because the problem with Isaac is huge, big-bodied guy with great speed, elite speed. And the problem is if he gets past the D line, nobody's going to stop him. And so it's 0 yard, 1 yard, 2 yards, 0 yard, 40 yards. That's just the way that he plays. And for a bigger body back, he doesn't fall forward as much, which I don't like. But he is good out of the backfield. Receiving wise, he's got that. He's just tight hipped. He ain't got no wiggle. Will Shipley, the exact opposite. That dude, he's a day 3 CMC, right? Like, and so what I mean by that is CMC type. He doesn't have the explosiveness. He doesn't have the elite testing. But if Will Shipley was a slot wide receiver, I have no problem taking him in the 4th round as a slot wide receiver. That's how good he is. But he can run the ball and he can do all that as well. And so, I like, man, right here, Floyd, CMC light. Yeah, that's right. And I don't want to take any more Nepo guys, but let's see here. Juice replacement? No way. He is way too tight hipped to do those counter blocks and fullback. Like Isaac Guerrero is a rhino. Like he rounds off those edges. Like his tape is rough. There's a lot of bad tape with Isaac Guerrero. That's the issue. You look at the highlights and you look at the 4.3 speed, and you look at the weight. I get it. That dude is not nimble. He can't move. He cannot make anybody miss in the backfield. The only time Isaac Guerrero breaks tackles is when his speed gets charged up. But once that happens, everybody falls off his waist. He cannot make anybody miss. Like Colton McKivitz and Spencer Burford going to get this dude killed. But yeah, I don't know. Cedric Gray's there. Dude, there's guys. There's so many talented players here. If I was drafting, I mean, they still got Theo Johnson there. You know what I mean? Tyler Davis, I like, defensive tackle. Zach Zinter, guard, like him. Like there's a lot of dudes here. I think I might go tackle Christian Jones and just double down. Like we're going to get a tackle. Like, and I don't think anybody. Like if we're going best player available, and this is what's happened in the past too. When the Niners draft 2 of the same position, 2 running backs, the second running back's great. 2 corners. The second corner's the guy that wins the job, right? Like, why not take Christian Jones here? And maybe, just maybe, Kieran takes over at left tackle. Christian Jones takes over at right tackle. Anybody mad about taking Christian Jones here? Or I'm seeing take Cedric Gray. I like Cedric Gray. I like Cedric Gray a lot. The Niners like Cedric Gray. We haven't taken a linebacker. I don't know how linebacker's going to make this roster. We got so many young guys. All right. I'm getting a lot of Cedric Gray all day. We're taking Cedric Gray, linebacker, North Carolina. Fun player, man. Just tackling machine. All right. We're doing all right. We got 3 picks left. I just fumbled my cough drop. The voice is getting mad at me. But that's all right. We're getting through this. Now, here we go. Now, I do have to say this before we make our next 2 picks. Look, if you want help with your business, this is where you go.
We bring all your leads, no matter where they come from, into a single conversation stream that supports text, email, video messaging, Google Business Chats, and even Facebook and Instagram DMs, so you can respond faster and more efficiently than ever. Connecting you instantly through text message so the conversation doesn't end when they leave your website. When it comes to turning all those conversations into customers, Power Brand Systems makes collecting payments just another convenient part of the combo, so you get paid faster no matter how they prefer to pay.
Dude, go check out Power Brand Systems. The link is in the description of this audio, video, however you're watching, listening, whatever, that is there. So, the Niners are back on the clock. We got 3 picks left, 211, 215, 251. Now I am totally in the realm of I do not care if we get a running back. So let's just see. Frank Gore Jr.'s there. Cody Schrader. Isaiah Davis. There's nobody here that's really like, oh, I got to have. I have Frank Gore Jr. rated as an undrafted free agent, so I'm not going to take him in the 6th. I wouldn't mind taking him in the 7th. We have not touched safety. That's a problem. We should have drafted safety. Omar Brown, I haven't done any of these guys just yet, so that's an issue. But we need a safety, no doubt about it. I love the way Washington's DVs take. So what I'm trying to find is I'm trying. He's six. So Dominique Hampton, 6'3", 220. No, I'm looking for somebody that fits our mold of safety. 6'1", 200. We're done. Omar Brown. That's our safety. We love 6 foot, 200-pound guys. He's going to come in and be a special teamer. We're taking Omar Brown, safety out in Nebraska. What other position have we not touched? Quarterback. I might take a quarterback here, actually. Frank Gore Jr. is still there. We're at pick 215. Let's see if there's a quarterback. Tua Tagovailoa. I do like him. I like Jason Bean. He's more of a run guy. We need a quarterback. Come in and compete, but Tua's a weird guy. That he's not a weird person. Just he's got that Phillip Rivers weird thing. I wouldn't mind that. I mean, we'll just take Frank Gore here. We'll do that, and then we'll see if there's a quarterback with the last pick, 251. We'll repeat the Brock Purdy and all that craziness. Why not? And people will come out and say, "Oh, the next blah blah blah." Tua's still there. Tua Lola Tagovailoa. We're taking him. Quarterback, Maryland. Tua's little brother. I actually think he fits our system pretty good. So let's see how we did on the draft. I don't really care what PFF says. What was our overall grade? Do we get an overall grade? Come on, man. I'm a teacher. Overall grade's a B. Let's go through our draft. We traded back in the first, and we got an extra third rounder. And we got Zach Frazier, A-. I love that pick. Kieran Armigagey, we got an A at pick 63. Andrew Phillips with that extra pick. So if we would have stayed at pick 31, A.D. Mitchell was going to be the pick, in my opinion. Best player available, right? First round grade. That would be the pick. Instead, we got Zach Frazier and Andrew Phillips. So you could kind of play with the question yourself. What would you rather have? A.D. Mitchell or Zach Frazier and Andrew Phillips? That's a question for another day. That's a question for another day. But I like that pick. We got a B grade on that. Brennan Rice in the third round, B-. Mason Smith, D+. That's a huge potential pick. Ben Sinnott, tight end, Kansas State, C+. Cedric Gray, linebacker, North Carolina, C. Omar Brown, safety, C+. Frank Gore, running back, B. And Tagovailoa, B-. Here's my question. Oh, my gosh. We never got an edge. You guys tricked me. We never got an edge. That's the problem with this one. How is that possible? There's no way the 49ers are going through a draft without an edge. Maybe you switch Mason Smith. But you guys keep telling me to wait on edge. What's wrong with y'all? That's why we do these. I thought we got one. I kept trying to push edge, and you guys voted against it every single time. Yeah, it's a fun draft. I would do a couple things differently. I think I would have took edge over Brendan Rice. I think that's probably, and I probably would have taken another tackle. I would have taken, what's his name? Christian Jones, the tackle, instead of Cedric Gray. I don't think we need another linebacker personally, but that's just my own personal thoughts. But, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. This was fun. I hope you guys kind of enjoyed this. I know I did. It's long, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with freaking long shows. Now, again, just a real quick reminder. Oh, couple things. Golly. I didn't even bring this up, and I should have talked about this earlier. We're hosting draft party. The whole plan was to do it in the Bay Area, and we met nothing but resistance. Shout out to Miho for all of her help. She was incredible, and, man, we talked to 12 venues, I think. But the Giants are playing that weekend, all that stuff, and nobody wanted to let us do what we wanted to do. And so I had a listener who, lives down in LA and owns a sports bar down there. It's like, dude, come do what you do down here. So we're going to be down. An awesome guy, man. Shout out to Emil. So we're going to be down in Temecula, of all places, which is a beautiful place if you've never been there, at Champion Sports Bar. And he's letting us take over the sports bar. We're going to be broadcasting live days 1 and day 2 from there. It's going to be awesome. It wasn't, exactly what the plan was. I wanted something in the city, but man, people were just stingy. And it was just like, golly, I'm not going to pay you $15,000 to come like bring a bunch of business to your place. It's just what it was. So anyway, we will be having live draft coverage, but I'm going to be down in Temecula. If you're close to LA or Southern California in any way, shape, or form, man, come out, hang out with us. Thursday and Friday of the draft, we'll be live doing this. And if you can't make it out, join us virtually. We'll be live on our channel like we always are every year for the draft. I know a lot of other people are doing that now, and that's awesome. I really hope their shows go well. But that's what we're doing. I wanted to go north, man. I tried, Big Papa. Like, nobody was willing to work with us. It was an absolute – people were willing to work with us. They just wanted all the money. And it was just like, come on, man. So I couldn't find anybody that was just like, look, you take it over. You run everything the way you want to. And we finally did. And it's a Niners bar, too, on top of that. So, like, how do I miss that? You know what I mean? So, a Niners bar in Southern California, we're doing it. So, that's the plan. Oh, what's up? We got Slick is in the house. He says, oh, hell yeah, I'm so there. And so if you guys know anybody down in Southern California, or you want to make an awesome trip down to the beach and just, man, have a good time in person, that's what we're going to do. So shout out to Champion Sports Bar down in Temecula. That's where we're going to be. Now that's going to do it for us here. We're going to keep going live. We're going to keep doing stuff. I got to get back to work on breaking down tape. I got a lot of work to do before Saturday. We release our entire freaking draft write-up. Can't wait to get that done. You guys are awesome. Thanks. Till next time. Stay strong, faithful.